Hola, everybody. This is Samaneh Zolfagharian, and I want to talk to you about how exciting today's world is. So when we turn on the TV or watching news or even opening up our email, we are bombarded with all news about artificial intelligence or AI. Some of us may feel overwhelmed what AI is, if it's just a hype, or it's going to take over the world. Is it going to replace our jobs or not? I'm here to tell you that AI is not going to replace our job, but those who embrace AI will replace our job. AI is going to reshape design and construction to augment us to do more with less. Today, I'm here to talk about the challenges that we're facing today, and some of those challenges have been mentioned earlier with the leadership team, and how AI can help us to deal with those challenges, and how we can take the most out of AI while navigating its risks. So the challenges, the reason that I mentioned to do more with less is the housing demands is increasing. We have more natural disasters these days, and we have less workforce. So for housing demands, the reason behind it that is estimated the population on Earth will reach to 10 billion people on Earth. And for this amount of population, we need to build more. And it's just more than building houses. It's about schools, it's about medical centers, it's about colleges and infrastructures so that we can meet the demand. And while we are dealing with that more housing demands, we are facing natural disasters. We see more wilder weather these days, hot temperatures, floods, earthquakes all over the world. It's just not specific to it's not just specific to special regions. It's happening all over the world. And believe it or not, we have like a huge impact. We play a huge role on sustainability and climate change. The way that we design and build has a huge impact on sustainability. We eat natural resources. We ruin the environment so that we can build houses and infrastructures for ourselves and the next generation. 1 out of 10 houses in the US is impacted by natural disasters. And construction industry is accountable for 40% of carbon emission, including embodied carbon as well as building operation. It was mentioned earlier about the waste that we put in the landfill. We are accountable for 1/3 of the waste that goes to the landfill. And the global warming, climate change is, I guess, how I can go back? Now you know what I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to repeat myself. So climate change is more than just hot weather. It's about unpredictable weather. Like in Germany, in the hot summer, they had snow. So how we can design and build so that we can be more resilient for such natural disasters and also unpredictable weather, so that our kids and the next generation can have a better life and can have like an enjoyable life, safer place. While we're dealing with more housing demands as well as natural disasters, we have less workforce. Based on American building construction, the US was facing 650,000 shortage of workforce in 2022. And the reason is obvious. It's either the current employees are retiring or they're switching their job, or the new generation is not interested to continue to pursue a career in our industry. And it's because either it's higher risk. The construction industry has the highest fatality rate among the rest of the industries, like manufacturing or agriculture. We also have lower compensation. So the new generation prefers to go find a job in tech companies building software rather than coming to our industry because they're looking for more money. And nothing wrong with that, by the way. And also it's demanding nature. So our clients are asking for more. There are more complexities when we design, when we build, including sustainability. Let's build with the material with less carbon footprint, or even the cost. So there are like a complexity here, and I want to check how many of you had to stay longer at work to meet the deadline. Raise your hand. You had to work during the weekends, and you couldn't spend time with your family and kids. Anyone here? Just one? I bet it's more than that. But the current generation is looking for work-life balance. They prefer to do the job, go back home, have their weekends. And this is another reason that they're not interested in our industry. So how might we sustainably build more houses for the future generation with the limited workforce that we have? I thought I fixed those, but it's okay. So one way to solve these challenges is with automation. One of the common ways that we're familiar with automation is through parametric modeling, scripting, or traditional programming. But there is other ways that can help us to automate better, and is artificial intelligence. The reason that artificial intelligence is better than parametric modeling is because artificial intelligence can learn from the data that we have. It can grow. But the special parametric modeling or scripting is limited to the coding, to the rules that we define. So it can understand and predict the pattern without any learning. That's the limitation that we get with parametric modeling. But you may ask what AI exactly is. The simple definition of AI is simulating humans' intelligence in a machine or a computer. It means computer can do whatever task we can perform. It can be from hearing, like visual perceptions, or reading a text. And I put a book here. Actually, the author is sitting here. It's called Augmented, and it's written for like our industry, for our profession, for the professionals in our industry. So I have a question, and this time I hope I see more hands. Raise your hands if you took a flight to come here and attend this conference. I see one, two. Everyone else lives close by? Okay. How many AI interactions do you think you had to come here? There isn't any wrong or right answer. Just guess. 2. Usually the answers I get is 2, 5, 6. I bet if you flew here from your hometown, it's more than, okay. It's more than 10 AI interactions. From the time you call Uber or any share riding app, you're interacting with an AI system. So it's trying to find you the best drivers based on where you're going and how long it takes. So you browse, see multiple options that you have. And then you see the path, the route that the system finds that is optimized way to get to your destination. You arrive at the airport. You pass the security. Your pilot is using AI in order to navigate and make sure that you're landing safely. And then you pass the custom again, another AI. Like in the US, we have facial recognition. I don't have to show my ID anymore. They know who I am, and all my metadata is in my account. And then you got an Uber, again, the similar process. And when you check in, for every transaction that you do, you have an AI interaction. Because the bank is checking whether it's like a valid transaction or not. So what I'm trying to say here is, you have AI interaction without even noticing it. It's everywhere. It's just like simplifying your task. All you need all you care here in this process is getting to your destination safely, on budget, and having the best experience. That's all. And AI is in the devices that we use. For example, if anyone has vacuum cleaner, like Roomba at home, they use AI in order to navigate the map of your house. Or like Alexa, OK Google. If you have those speakers at home, tell them what to do. They never do it right, but they are AI-based. And then you have like Netflix. You go home, you want to watch a movie. So you look at Netflix to see what it's recommending to you. And it's recommending those movies based on what you watched in the past. So it exactly knows your demographic and what you might be interested in. And facial recognition is the most common one. It started from recognizing cat versus dog, whether this picture is a cat or a dog, because we all love cat or dogs. We are either a cat person or a dog person. And then we were like, why just limiting it to a cat or a dog? Let's go further. Why not leveraging it for detecting objects and enabling self-driving cars? If any of you come to San Francisco, you will see some cars without any drivers. So they just go around the city because of these technologies. So they detect pedestrians, they detect cars, and also traffic signage. As a human, we don't want to stop there. We want to take a step further. Why just detecting objects? Why not generating those outputs? And here, generative AI comes in. Generative AI means you train an AI system with billions points of data. It's expensive. But you train them so that it can generate like an output for you. Here is Midjourney a year ago. So if you give it a prompt, say women laughing with salads, you get this picture which looks like an alien. But after a year, it looks real. It has all the details you need. And it's because of the power of data, higher computation power that we have, like the chip technologies like NVIDIA, and also the better algorithm. We're making progress in math. So I can't rely on the math that I learned back to high school. It's much more advanced than that. How it can help us in our industry, how we can take advantage of such a technology in our industry. Yeah, it's cool. So here is LookX.ai. So what they do, like as a designer, when we are at the beginning of the project, we are looking for some renderings to take it in front of the client and ask for their feedback. Here you just can define the base of your project, and then the system does the rendering for you. Not sure if you noticed it or not. Yes, the prompt is here. You say it's a commercial office and the number of stories, and it does the rendering so that you can come up with multiple options and review it with your client. So it's not limited. Generative AI is not limited just to like pictures, videos. It's more than that. It's text. You can have a real human communication with a generative AI system. Like ChatGPT or Bard, the system behind that is large language model or LLMs. So it means they use actually public data to train the system. By public data, I mean what is available on the internet. And then you can have like a real conversation with the system. Anyone here use ChatGPT? Nice. So probably, and some of you who didn't raise your hand, if you're sending an email to your colleague in Outlook or Gmail, and it tries to finish your sentence, that's because of large language model. The difference between the large language model here versus in ChatGPT is they use billions points of data to make it smarter. Here I asked, what's the 3 things that I should know about Costa Rica? It was its nature, biodiversity, as well as lovely people. And then I asked for the popular dish. I checked that one with my driver coming here, and he said gallo pinto. So I tried that this morning. I think it was good. So, but that's cool, how it can help us with our design. How such a system can enable us to design faster during like our day-to-day work. Most people that we talk to, they're frustrated with reviewing files. Like they say they have to review 4,000 pages of documents, either specifications, bids, or contracts, just to start the design. So what if we could have, this is the sample design specification files, what if we could have such a system to chat with it and get our questions answered? So here, it's just reviewing the file that I uploaded in the system. So I upload the file, and it gives me 3 prompts based on the content that I have in the file. I either can select from those prompts, or I can ask my own questions. For example, here I ask, what's the electrical requirements? So it goes in the documents and checks for the details and provides me the answer. And it also provides the references for that so that I can go and validate it. One thing that you should remember, always you need validation when you're interacting with an AI system. Because AI systems do hallucination, and sometimes they're biased. So this is how AI may help you with reviewing a file. But how AI can help you avoid a start from scratch? Some architects, they're like, why I should start every project from scratch? I know we did something similar in the past. So they go try to find that colleagues who were involved in that project. But he's not or she's not there anymore because they either retired or left the company. And they're like, okay, I can find the file and use it as a baseline. I can build on top of it. But they can't find the file either because the company decided to change the database and migrate to a new system. So that's difficult for them to find it. So eventually, they have to start from scratch, which is less desirable. So here, it's a system called Hyper. Hyper is a cloud-based system using AI. Similarly, when you chat with ChatGPT, here you also can give it a prompt. And it's like a BIM-based model too. You tell them what the project is, its sizing, how many floors you have, and it automatically, on the fly, creates that design for you. So you don't have to do this part from scratch. And you even can edit it. You can add more floor, more stories on top of that building. Or here, like they added a podium. So here, how you can chat with an AI system in order to accelerate your job, so that you can leverage that time for your career growth, or doing like more creative job, rather than spending your energy on something that could be boring or frustrating for you. How can AI, so AI is helping us for design specs review, AI is helping us to not start from scratch, but how it can help us to build a smarter and more sustainable. 90% of the data we have in the world is generated in the last 2 years. We're not just consuming data, we are also producing data. And for that amount of data, you need supercomputers. Frontier is the recent supercomputers with 1.1 quintillion operations per second. If you wonder how much it is, let me put it in perspective for you. On Earth, we have 7.8 billion people. If each of us, on average, can do 10 simple calculations per minute, then it would take us 27 full years to do what Frontier is able to do in just 1 second. That's the power of supercomputers today. So having said that, when we design, there are many, many variables that we consider. I see some people simulate a BIM model to like an iceberg. We just use the visual part of the BIM, but we are not just taking advantage of the whole BIM model. That's where it comes in. So like something like Netflix, they use AI to propose you, recommend you the best movies so they can increase your watching time. That's how they earn money. So how we can take advantage of such a recommendation engine for our design? So instead of, so we get the requirements from the clients, and then we have to go and find those building products. We have to stay on the phones with multiple vendors that we have, or go and look at our database to see who supplied for which project when. What if everything could be in one database so that I can provide it the client's requirements, even the regions, the geos that we want to build, they have their own policies, like carbon footprints for the building products that you can use. And your company's policies as well, so that it can recommend me the best product. And then I go through that, I pick up the best option for my design. That's how you can make better, more efficient, and more sustainable decisions using AI in your workflow. Besides recommendation engine, you can also use it for energy analysis. There is a company called CoffTool. Anyone familiar with it here? They're based in Atlanta. So CoffTool is using AI enabling energy simulation. So you can use CoffTool to measure the carbon emission of your design and also do climate analysis. And beside that, you can also minimize the energy consumption by maximizing the access to the daylighting. So that's how AI can help us to build, design and build sustainably. AI is not here to replace us. AI is here to help us with our job. If we integrate AI in our workflow, we can make better decisions. We have tons of data in our companies, right? Not my companies, I mean in our AEC, architecture, engineering, and construction companies. But we're not taking advantage of those companies. How we can make better decisions by leveraging that data so that we can stay ahead of competition and shine in front of our clients. That's how AI is reshaping design and construction and is augmenting us to do more with less so that we can deal with the housing demands, with the natural disasters, as when we have less workforce. I shared all lovely parts of the AI with you, but always there is a scary part of everything, and I want to admire it here too. AI is like a fire. You use fire for cooking, warming up. But if you don't follow some policies, regulation, it can burn a house. AI is the same. AI has its own risk as well, and that's where we need AI governance. AI governance is formulating a framework so that we can minimize its risk through development, deployment, and operation. I put the whole life cycle here because we are in such an ecosystem. We, as a design and construction companies, we generate data. Tech vendors leverage that data to train AI models. And then we use those AI models to get our job done. That means we're producing more data, which goes back to that tech vendors. So three main components here are data, algorithm, AI algorithm, as well as people. And they are the source of AI risk. Data, like data biases. This lady, an Asian female, tries to use an AI system, generate a LinkedIn photo for herself, and it ended up to be a white female photo. Probably it's because they used more white female pictures to train that AI system. Imagine if we were using such a system for our design, and the model is trained based on the luxury data, but I want to design an economy building, it just recommends me luxury products, which doesn't match what I'm looking for. So we should watch out those biases in an AI model as well. Or it's privacy and security. Most companies that we're talking to right now, they're scared that their IP or secret sauce go public. They don't want their employees use ChatGPT or similar tools, because what if they put something sensitive on that AI system? Who owns that data? In our case, multiple people, stakeholders, are involved in a project. So who owns that BIM model? Is it the client? Is it the architects? Is it like general contractors or mechanical engineers? That data ownership is still like, it has doesn't have any like clear boundaries. When it goes to AI, like which data I can use in order to train those AI models? We should watch out for data privacy and security. Transparency and explainability is another risk of AI. And the reason for that is AIs are like a black box for many, many people. Here they use an AI system in Houston to evaluate teachers, math teachers. Eventually they fired some of them, really good teachers, but no one knew why. It was just based on a recommendation they got from an AI model. No one went to validate it. So now they went to court and were like, why we're fired? And it was just based on the decision recommendation that AI system gave them. Always make sure you validate the answers you get from an AI system, because it has its own hallucination. And that's why your employees shouldn't over-rely on an AI system. If they just go with whatever an AI system tells them to do, that could be risky. As a human, we prefer to take an easy path to get our job done faster and go home. But if AI system recommending me something and I'm like, okay, I'll go with that, that could be risky. I should go and validate that recommendation or suggestion. You should look at it like a partnership between yourself, your job, and an AI system. How we can, I won't say prevent it, because nothing is preventable. You set the rules, no one is following it. It's not just about tech, it's people too. What I would say, recommendation to minimize the risk. When you set an AI strategy, make sure you undertake AI governance as well. And make sure you train your people, because they're the main source of the risk. As a human, we have 168 biases. And that's why our AI systems are biases too. We inject those into the data and the algorithm. Our people should understand how to interact with AI systems. And if you're looking for building in-house solutions, don't look for people who just know AI. Make sure they understand our industry. Our industry has many, many nuances that is difficult for someone out of the industry can understand and digest it. And last but not least, set up an AI governance committee. When you ask your employees, go and check out those AI tools, make sure you have a committee to measure the risk of those AI. Otherwise, you may risk your reputation and also get into legal or financial risk. So I talk about the scary part, but I still believe that AI can help us if we keep the balance between our AI strategy and AI governance. It can help us to deal with the housing demands, better, build more sustainable so that we can decrease our carbon emission, and also while we have less workforce to do the work. And that's how we can reshape design. AI can reshape design and construction to augment us to do more with less. And that's the exciting time. I'd like to leave you with one question, and it's how are you going to unlock business opportunities for your company to take advantage of the power of AI? Think about it, discuss it with your team, and see if there are any opportunities that you need to think about and enable it with AI. Thank you, everyone.